you are like me and was given the title of the good child within the family. Now, I think it was just easy for me to take on that title, that role, that image, rather, because I grew up in a dysfunctional family, better yet, a dysfunctional household, and it was just me and my brother. So it was easy to distinguish between what's good and what's bad. And my brother was seen as the bad child, I was the good child. And I just don't even like good and bad. For one, I don't even like kids to be having a type of label like that over them now that I'm mature. But that was the title that I was given, and it was because my brother, he was more rowdy. My brother had ADHD along with like other issues, but there's reasons now that I'm old enough to realize there's reasons for my brother's behavior outside of um being labeled just as the bad kid. Like there's other things that went on within that. But my brother, he like I said, he was rowdy. He, talked back to my mom. He would stay out late. My brother, he was skipping school. My brother, he was smoking weed at a young age. He was doing all of these things. He was stealing. He was doing all of these things. So I seen what he did and how he got in trouble for it. I just didn't want to be a part of that. I just flat out didn't want to do it. That's just how my brain connected to the dots from a very young age. I just didn't want to be involved in things that, you just shouldn't be doing. But it's a gift and a curse to have the good child title behind you, because while that's cute, that may be cute when you're younger, that title follows you. And even like in my adult age, I'm still reminded of mistakes. Anytime I make a mistake, and I am a human, so when I make a mistake, I'm reminded of those things because I have this image, the good child that they gave me. So I remember when I was 16 years old. This is my first time getting drunk. Okay, my first time getting drunk. I came home with my friends, and I was drunk. I'm 35, and I'm still reminded of when I was 16 and came home drunk. That one time when there's other people, these other people that keep reminding me, they have done way worse, way worse. But since I have that title, I have that image, that one mistake, I'm still reminded of that today. When I was 19, I had my first child. There was a girl that I was cool with. She was more promiscuous. She's way more promiscuous now that I think about it, because there was no such thing as me having bodies back then. Well, even still now, there's no such thing as me having bodies. But I just had a kid with somebody that I love, somebody that I was in a relationship with, somebody that I've known since I was freaking 11 years old. And I would have not even just my family, but like people that I know said, "Oh, I thought she was going to have a kid before you." And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, I am in a whole relationship with the person that I'm having a kid with. This is not like I'm having a kid with somebody that's random or somebody that I just thought was cute. We're in a whole relationship. We've been on dates and all of this. These are decisions that we made together. And I came to the conclusion to want to have this kid because it was my choice to have her, because my family is so freaking dysfunctional, like so dysfunctional, and I just wanted an escape. I wanted to give my love to somebody that was going to love me back, and I did. I went out and had a baby. But the driving force, and I will tell you guys not the minute, but like around the time where I decided to have my daughter. So my mom, she had got into a relationship with this guy, and he was extremely overbearing. And him and I, we got into an argument for something. I don't remember what it was, but he had threw it in my face. And this is something that I've never known. Threw it in my face. He was like, "Yeah, I sold XYZ to your dad." And my mom said, "Well, yeah, your dad, da-da-da-da-da, you think he's perfect, but he ain't tell you this." This is something that my mom and my dad never told me. Like, if that wasn't thrown in my face, it wasn't a conversation I had, this was thrown in my face, I would have never known. That took the breath out of me. Like, I couldn't believe I was being betrayed like that. I couldn't believe I was hearing this about my dad. I couldn't believe that my mom was taking the side of, somebody that we don't know. So I called my dad and I couldn't get the words out. Like, I had a really hard time getting it out, and I finally got it out and said, hey, this is what he said and this is what she said. He was pissed. My dad was livid. He was like, yeah, I did do drugs back in the 90s, but that should have never have come out to you that way. Like, I wouldn't even care. Like, because that was his business. And that was something that my dad cleaned himself up off of. But, as the times went on, I realized, like, what really was going on with my mom and with her dude. But I will get to that in another video. But my dad called my mom and he told her, like, yeah, I want to talk to this guy, because who is he to tell her something like that, to throw it in her face in a way like that? That's when my mom's tone came down, and that's when her dude, he checked himself. He changed his tone. He changed what he wanted to put out there. He didn't really want to have that conversation with my dad, which let me know, like, he was a punk, just like, how I already expected that. But just seeing the way that my mom can switch up on me because of a man, that, like, prompted me, like, I don't want anything to do with this family dynamic. I want to create my own family. And so I did. I very much love my daughter. I put a lot of intention into both of my kids because, I created them with love, and I just love them, and I don't want them to grow up the way that I've grown up. I don't give them the title of a good and bad child. Both my kids, they're darling children, and it's because I love them. These children, they come from me. Like, I wouldn't change that for anything in this world. But being the good child, it's a complete scam, and it's a way for them to bring you up, and then they wait to the right moment and they're gonna throw it in your face and let you know, like, you're not that perfect as everybody portrays you to be. And I think that my mom, she's always had an issue with me being the good child because the guys that she used to date, they used to take to me over my brother. Like, they really didn't want to deal with my brother, but they would always praise me, like, how good I was. And I think that bothered my mom, because I don't know. I really don't. I couldn't tell you why. And I even remember, like, the guy that heard that we got into it, that me and him got into it. I remember one time when we were in New York, because that's where he's from also. We were in New York, and he wanted to get my hair done. And my mom had a whole attitude because he actually wanted to take me to the Africans to get my hair done. And I just wanted my hair done. Like, I wanted Senegalese twists, and I just wanted to look nice. And she had a whole attitude behind that. But there's a whole crazy breakdown of, why that stuff comes into play. And I have so many different stories to tell y'all about, not just my experience, but my theories on this dysfunctional dynamic, especially amongst the women that's in my family. But if you guys are, or were given the title, the label of the good child in your family, let me know what your experiences are or were, because in my opinion, it's a complete scam to have that title. It's something that I didn't ask for. It was something that was given to me for whatever reason. And, I just connected the dots. I just looked at what was right and what was wrong, and seeing if somebody else got in trouble, then, maybe I don't want to be doing that because I'm going to get in trouble too. That's just how I think that everybody should think. I thought that was normal, but apparently it wasn't. But if any of this resonated with you, or if you like my stories, you want to hear more of my stories of my dysfunctional family dynamic, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys later in the next video. Peace.